My name is Monique Morales, and I attend Mosaic Community Church. My parents had me and my brother when they were really young. My mom was about 19 when she had me, and they were married for a few years, but they got divorced pretty early on. So I've always kind of known them to be divorced, and I lived with my mom, and I would see my dad every other weekend. Just over time, like in elementary school, I think I was starting to become confused, probably angry. I didn't know why they were separated. A little over a year into it, I think my dad started to just communicate a message that what I was doing wasn't good enough. Over time, I just felt so low. I just felt like so lonely, and the only person I could really relate to was my brother because he was going through the same exact thing. I was just always in this state of panic, like I'm gonna do something wrong, like something's gonna happen, I'm gonna get in trouble. In 7th grade, I started cutting myself, and I would do it as a way of punishment just because I felt I deserved that. And eventually it just built up to I just don't deserve to live. The first night moving back with my mom, it was definitely surreal, just the way that things transpired. It wasn't how I expected it, and I just remember all of us being happy that I was back with her, but also just devastated that it ended like that. I think I still wanted to be on good terms with him, but I also still was searching for that affirmation. I still wanted him to accept me despite going away from him, but over time our relationship got better, and I was able to see him but also keep good boundaries between us. With the aftermath of what happened at my dad's, I began to question my beliefs, and at one point I just did not want to believe in God. I figured that I would be ignorant, and probably around my sophomore year of high school, I began to get sleep paralysis. After I would pray, I did feel a lot more at peace, and this led me to start asking questions again of, okay, maybe God is real. By the end of the service, the pastor had an altar call for those that had felt Christ was calling out to them, and he asked for us to say a prayer with him if we felt that on our heart. And I just remember bowing my head, and tears started flowing, and I just remember thinking to myself, I can't do this anymore. I need Jesus in my life because I don't know where I'm gonna be without him. One day I remember driving down Larkin with my mom, and I look over to the right and I see the sign for Mosaic Community, and I didn't know a church was so close to my house. And that Sunday I decided to get up and walk over to Mosaic Community and just see what it was about. Walking in, I was definitely anxious. I really couldn't focus on what people were saying to me or what Pastor Eric was preaching. I was just very aware of my own surroundings. I remember shaking in my seat, just feeling so anxious being alone in 16. During the service, they brought up the high school ministry, and I remember thinking, like, this is a lot for me, and I'm not interested in the high school ministry right now. By the end of the service, I had felt God softened my heart to attend youth group. When I showed up, I had felt very anxious going into it, but I also felt a supernatural peace from it. And just seeing the other girls in small group being super in love with Jesus as well, and just seeing how they communicated with others. And I don't think I knew it at the time, but I really felt Jesus through them. I really felt the love and acceptance through them, and it kept me coming back to youth group. I definitely saw ways that God was challenging me and growing me, and one of them was stepping out my comfort zone and greeting other people and being friendly to others, showing love to others. And that was through kids church, that was through youth group and talking to new people. And it was definitely scary for me to step out of my comfort zone, and at times I didn't want to, at times I didn't, but when I did, I really felt God's blessing over me. I felt so at peace, and I felt where I was lacking in, that God strengthened me, and God really helped me through those situations. Now looking back, I can just see how lost I was, and how I was searching for something to fulfill me and to give me purpose. And I went searching a lot of places, but the only place where I found fulfillment was Jesus. And getting involved in community and having fellowship with friends and being held accountable in community group each week, I continue to get filled up by Jesus, and I continue to see how he's working in my life and working in the life of others. And despite all of us not being perfect, I'm no longer disappointed anymore, and I'm putting my hope in Jesus alone now.